Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and farmer wannabes out there. Welcome to a beautiful day on our little farm. I'd like to use this video to try and recruit you to our community, Virtual Farming World. We like to think of our little community here as being slightly different to many other communities. The main reason being that we like to keep the economy of the game offline on our own personal website. The reason for doing this is that it gives you more control over your own money and what you choose to do with it than it would if we had it all done in game. Basically, when you start working with Virtual Farming World, you come into us as a worker. Effectively, it's the same as being hired by a farm. So all the equipment that you see around here, this is the main building of our farm, and all the equipment that you see around here, this is all the farm's own equipment. It's all the most basic equipment in the game, so it's nothing particularly fancy, but you'd have access to you can use any of the equipment that you find. Now, if I jump over to our website to explain what I mean about being a worker, here we go. This is our main website, virtualfarmingworld.com. Now, when you first come on the site, you will only see the home, blog, and overview. You won't see the working and the shop tabs. Now, at first you need to go to the overview site and you need to click on the application form in order to join us. Now, on this application form you will see name, email, and your FSUK name. Originally, when this website was made, it was slightly overthought. We don't actually have to have your real name. We recognize that a lot of people don't necessarily online want to put down their real details, and that's perfectly fine. Your FSUK name, that is the name that you will be known as on our website, and the easiest thing to do is to actually keep that as the same name as whatever you use in Virtual Farming World. What I did, and what most people with us do, is they put down under name and your FSUK name, put the same thing. Just put whatever handle or whatever name you use in game down there. Obviously, give us your email address, and then once we've read through this and we accept you to our community, we can then send you access to our Discord. We can send you the details of the server, and we can also send you access to something that we use called the Mega, which is where we store. It's basically a website where we store all the mods that we use for the game, because our map is fairly heavily modded, although it's not obvious because we only tend to use realism mods. Most of these are just equipment, and there's some mods that are, make it slightly more realistic, the way you use things. Like, for instance, if you hook up a trailer to your tractor, we've got a mod so that you have to get out of your tractor, walk around the back, and actually physically attach it, rather than just be able to push a button from within the tractor and have it magically attached to your trailer. Magically attached to the trailer hitch of your tractor, I mean. Yeah. So, let me go back to the game. I'll show you. This is the map that we use. The map that we use is Cantabria Infinita. We like it because it's quite varied. There's quite a big variety of various different fields, and odd-shaped fields. We've also got on the side here. There's this whole area is the forestry area. There's also a vineyard at the top. If I click on this building button here, you can see these are all the industries that we use in the game. There's the industries we find give us lots of variety of various different things to do. Everything from, there's oil factory, desalinization plant where we get salt from, which you need for the food factory. There's greenhouses that makes various different boxed up fruits and vegetables. You've got an olive grove, liquor factory. There's a beer factory. Lots of stuff to give us a real variety of different things we can do with on our map. Now, I said before about right, when you join with us being a contractor. Let me just jump back to the website. Okay. Right. Oh yes. Still on the application page. Don't forget at the bottom you got to read the rules and the guidelines, and then click on do you agree with these rules. You got to tick that box just to say yes, you do agree with the rules, and then apply to us, and we will provided you're accepted, provided you're accepted, then you'll be able to join up, and then you will see the working and the shop tabs on the website. Now the working tab, when you click on here, this will list all the jobs that are in the game. Now, the jobs themselves, everything is split into three. There's the total amount of money that you get paid. So let's take slurry spreading on field 38 as an example. Right, the total amount of pay for the job is 2,088 euros. The worker gets 626. This is because basically you're as a worker you don't own any of the equipment. So you're basically doing a job with somebody else's equipment, and that's just the pay that you get for doing the job. Now, once you reach 10,000 euros in the game, you can create your own company. I'll show you some of the companies. If we click on contractors here, these are all the different companies that have been created in the game. This is mine, Dragonheart Farming, and this is all the equipment that I use. So when I go up to working, go back to working. So if you were a new player coming in and you say accepted the job for slurry spreading, right, now before you fully accept the job, you got two tabs here, worker and contractor. If you're the only person doing the job, then you just leave the worker one alone. You're automatically, as soon as you click on that first button to accept the job, you're put onto the job as a worker. This is only really for if somebody else is actually physically there doing the job with you. You can put them in as well, so that they are able to, so that they then split the worker money gets split between you and them. The contractor's part is for whoever's equipment you're using. Now, once you have your own equipment in the game, see, if I was doing this job and I was only using my own equipment, I could click on Dragonheart Farming, and then when I accept the job, I would get paid 626 euros 52. It always rounds it up, so I'd actually get paid 627 euros for doing the job. I would also get paid 1,462 euros because it's my own work, so I'd get 100% of the money for this job. Now, if I were using most of my equipment, but I was still using some of the farm's equipment, then I would put myself down as a contractor, but I would also add another second contractor, and there's one called farm contractor. That basically means I'm using some of the farm's equipment as well. So then when you accept the job, I'd still get paid the 627 euros because I'm the only one doing the work on the job, but all of a sudden, if you look at the contractors, will receive 731 euros. So that's been split now between half of it goes to the farm because it's their equipment, and half of it goes to me because I'm using my own equipment as well. Now, when you first come into the game, this is actually a good way to make friends with the community, because when you first come into the game, you're only ever going to get the workers' pay at the start anyway. So if the choice is between using the farm's equipment and using other contractors' equipment, it's always better to choose the other contractors' equipment, because you make a bit of money for them, which makes other players happy. But at the same time, it also makes the job faster, because once you've got your own contracting company, you tend to buy equipment that's better than the farm's equipment. So if you were to use, say, some of my equipment, it's not necessarily going to be the same as the basic bog standard equipment that the farm has. With using other people's harvesters, they're likely to be bigger harvesters, bigger headers, and which means the jobs go faster. So you get paid quicker. And obviously the goal is to eventually have most of your own equipment, because then you can get the most pay out of this. Now, the other thing to know is that once you create your own contracting company, you start off, as I say, with 10,000. You get your contracting company. Now, once you have the 10,000, you then are able to get your first loan. And what that means, when you first start the game, when you first start up this website, and if I go to my profile here, my profile is going to look slightly different to how it would look normally when you start. Normally, when you start, you've also got a personal. Here you've got the contract money, and this is the amount remaining on my loan. It would also say personal here and have a personal amount, which I've transferred everything from my personal account into my contract account, so that's the only reason you don't see that there. But you wouldn't have this contract amount or the loan amount when you first start. You'd only have your personal money. And then when you reach the point of having 10,000, you're able to start your own contract, which basically gives you your first loan. Now, the first loan is 3 times whatever amount of money you've managed to raise. So, for instance, you start with if it's your first loan, you'd have 10,000 as a contractor. So you'd get 30,000. You'd get a loan of 30,000. Which basically means you start with your contracting life with 40,000 in the bank. Now, a couple things are actually mandatory as a contractor. The first one being that you have to buy a yard to put your stuff. Now, at the bottom of the shop here, you've got a properties tab. Now, the properties, it's actually the wrong map on there, but that'll have to be changed. And then here are a variety of different yards dotted around the map that that can be purchased to put your own equipment down on. Now, this is my one here, yard 5. So if I go in game and I go over to my stuff, let me get into any vehicle and then change to my yard. This is my yard here. See, these are all placeables that I put down on my yard, and these is all the equipment that I own. So even when I'm offline, if anybody uses my equipment, it makes me a bit of money. So it's a very nifty little system for that. So you get your yards, you got your loan to start with, to buy your own equipment, and then basically, as you make money, let me go back to my profile. As you make money, right, I've got a little bit. I can pay off some more of my loan to show you. Profile, okay. At the moment, there's 38,000 left on my loan. I've got a contract in my contract account. I've got 7,000. So if I go all the way to the bottom here, manage loan. I'm going to put 5,000. 5,000 done. Pay loan. Okay, now I've only got 33,000 left to pay off. The reason I've got so much is because I didn't get my first loan until I had 20,000 because I wanted a slightly bigger loan at the start. You don't have to get your loan straight away. You can save up more if you'd like. I waited until I had 20,000 at the start, and then I got my first loan so that I could get a loan of 60,000, which I'm slowly paying off. You can't take another loan out until you've paid that off. But once that's been paid off, I can then I then look at all the equipment that I want. I can decide, okay, this is what I want to buy with my loan. So then I basically save up a third of that, and then get a loan, and then I'll have the money for all the equipment that I want. Which then, having more equipment means you can do more jobs as a full contractor, getting 100% of the money, which means that you can quicker pay off your loan quicker and be able to get even more equipment. Final thing I'm going to mention before ending this video is just simple basic things, simple basic rules. We aren't total rule mongers on Virtual Farming World. We believe that it is a game, and you're here to have fun. So the basic rules are simply respecting other players. If you use somebody else's equipment, we expect you to put it back where you found it. We expect people to, when they're driving around the map, drive on the roads. Stick to the roads. Don't drive across fields. Don't go, especially as we have a mod on here called crop destruction, which basically means that if you drive across a field with wide tires or normal tires, you'll destroy any crops that are on the part you're driving across. And you will get fined. You can get fined if players get caught doing that. But generally speaking, it's just common sense. Be respectful to the other players. When you're using the Discord channel, we don't accept racism, we don't accept abuse, we don't accept trolling or griefing. So it's just standard. Be respectful, be friendly, and you'll get along fine here. And hopefully we will see you in game, because I can say from personal experience that I've had a lot of fun with Virtual Farming World, and I know that you will too. And I really hope to see you in game, hope to see some applications coming in, and look forward to the fun. Enjoy.